Why?
I'll show you the difference in tearing up a book and tearing up a stack.
Mayweather, it's not that serious. It's not that serious.
It is that serious. I'm getting played out of goddamn level.
You gotta give it time.
But Mayweather.
Tell me they ain't that serious.
But you have to take responsibility for your actions.
I took responsibility. I taught the bill. They slammed my hand in the door too. Take responsibility for that.
Get you on camera, my come to the slide.
You a out of camera. East side. 101st.
55, 1.
This ready to get paid, Brown. This ready. Nothing to do with me, man. I was just trying to let you clean the room.
Mayweather,
I see you over there on the screen.
come and talk to me.
Hey, you're not going to come to that window.
Just come and talk to me. I don't want them to sit up and come there on you because I want to try to prevent that. We don't want that to happen. Mayweather. Okay. Let's compromise. Let's compromise. We're gonna compromise. We're gonna compromise. You give me up the broom, we'll discuss your level. We'll discuss something that we can do, and instead of waiting 3 weeks to get your level, maybe we can do a week to week. You know what I'm thinking? We can talk to you every week to see how you're doing. We have a student that is refusing to give up the broom that he has in his room that he was cleaning with, and I tried to talk him out of it before things got escalated because I didn't want things to escalate, but he's refusing to give it up right now. So right now I'm just trying to wait and see what the shift supervisor is going to do, but I didn't want them to have to go in there and do a cell extraction if we didn't have to. So I tried to do some reasoning with him, some negotiating, but it didn't work. So he's refusing. He wants them to come in there on him right now. So that's what we're at right now. We can't go any further until he refuses to give it up. So it's up to the shift supervisor right now.
You tried really hard. I mean, you really worked it.
Yeah, because I don't like them to go in and get. If I can try to de-escalate the situation, I will. And that's my whole purpose of trying to just de-escalate and try to get them to compromise and work with me. But sometimes it doesn't go that way.
All right, here's the situation. Got Mayweather Brown with a broom and Best next to him with a mop. What do you want me to do?
Well, we're not going to put an extraction female on top of it.
No. And there's Mr. Dempsey behind you.
Huh?
There's Mr. Dempsey behind you.
Yes. Great.
Hi. You didn't hear yet, huh?
Huh?
Have one with a broom and one with a mop. Don't want to give it up.
Deal with it like you normally would. You gonna put a team together? Movement team?
Mayweather Brown will swing that broom.
Yeah, put a movement team together.
Okay.
You want a team?
Let's use that.
We'll do.
Okay. 08, 25. Available for TX. Go for 2505.
Stand by, Virginia.
Hey, Bensheimer, grab Hawk and Cash Eye.
Why didn't you say non-emergency?
I need you.
What?
I need you to go in this room. Mayweather Brown. Yeah. Hey, Tux, I need you. Yeah. Need you guys to suit up because we're going to get this broom from Mayweather Brown.
Have the shift supervisor called down here?
Not since I've been here. I just
No. Well, Sweat was on the unit. I don't know where he's at.
they
right
all
now.
right there suiting up.
Oh, they're suiting
right
up
there
right
in the
now. They're
stall.
getting,
Yeah.
they're suiting. I really didn't want them to go and do a cell extraction if they didn't have to. Yeah. I really don't want them to do a cell extraction because he's just upset about a level. It's about a level that I told him that we would do a week-to-week evaluation on, you know what I'm saying, and he can possibly get his level within less than a week if he would work with me, but he's not.
Excuse me?
All right, let me get on TV.
Yeah, and that's why I know it's gonna escalate. It's gonna. I don't know where Mr. Dempsey was outside.
All right, I don't know that.
Hey, Andre got my word.
Yeah, I know now he's looking in the camera on his camera. He's taking the broom and hitting it against his window and
Tell him
stuff.
to put that on TV.
Second shift. Springfield. Flip out of home.
What's the camera used for?
We use the camera to videotape the extraction if it comes necessary. So that way we have it as in our records. So if the offender says that we did this or we did that, then we got everything on film. There's also a camera inside the room that'll be filming it also. So this way it's just kind of like a double protection for us and the offender to make sure everything's legal and everything goes well.
Okay. Ready?
Yep.
Yeah, in 1 minute. I'm gonna brief it real quick and then we're gonna come out. Yes, we're going that way. Okay. I gave everybody their positions. Guy 1, Tubbs 2, K. Smith 3, Springfield 4, Ben Sharman 5, Cash Eyes on camera. We have Mayweather Brown in room B3, room 4. He has a broom, swinging a broom in the cell. I'm gonna try to ask him to cuff up. If he doesn't cuff up, I'm going in. After we get him out, I'm gonna put him in the distraction chair. I mean, the restraint chair. All right, let's go. You got your key? Okay. Got your cuffs, leg shackles. Who has cuffs? Who has cuffs? You got some cuffs? Who got leg shackles? All right.
Hey, where's the phone restraint key from B4? It should be. One's broken.
One's broken.
You want my why so confused?
Yes, we go straight to
I got 17
and then down the side of the
I just don't want to leave mine sitting in here.
building.
You might have to. Alright, you didn't do
Did it work?
Which way is the door open?
This door opens to the left. Yeah, so we're gonna take the long way around. You can see it, yeah, so you can see it's coming.
Do it back.
Pardon me, sir.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay, come on.
When I walked away, that's when I think he knew they were gonna come to him. But he wants to. He got to run because he's been saying that he wants Benchheimer. He wants a few other officers, and here they go. They're gonna go in there. They're suited up. I do not want this to happen.
Unlocked door.
Brown, you cuff up. Cuffing.
That's my finger. I got him. Cuffs. Cuffs. You got cuffs. That's my finger.
Y'all brag about breaking my arm? Huh? Brag about breaking my arm?
Cuffs. Cuffs. He's got cuffs.
Y'all brag about breaking my arm? Secure. Brag about breaking my arm? Brag about breaking my arm? Ain't no game. Brag about breaking my arm? Look, I'm motherfuckers one time be rough when I had him. Brag about breaking my arm? Ain't no game. 7-4.
Leg secured.
7-4 to the world, blah. Look, I'm motherfuckers one time be rough when I had him. 7-4 to the world, blah. 6, 15, 12, 11, 19.
Leg secured.
7-9 to the world. Game round. Nigga, it's not no game round. It's not one. 7-4 to the world. 6, 15, 12, 11, 19. Well, it's not no game round. Well, it's not no game round. It's not a game. It's not one. It's not a game. I'm telling you, it's not a game. 7-4. Not a game. It ain't been one. It ain't been one. Nah. Not no game round. Not no game round. Not a game. 7-4. Not a game. It ain't been one.
Double check his restraints real quick. Double check his restraints real quick. Well, I gotta loosen that one up.
Ain't no game around here. It ain't one. When I tell you that, I mean it.
Go ahead and secure his legs. Check those restraints, guy. Make sure there's.
Shut up. You not running. And I wish that was your ass first. So I would have tried
Okay, he's good.
to break those. Don't play like you jump. Jump. Don't play with me.
Get the restraints tight.
Don't play with me. Just don't play with me. I'm telling you. When I kill you, boy.
Make sure you scoot him up in the chair.
Boy, I'm telling you, it's not a game around here, boy. It's not one.
Jackson, we ain't gotta go here, Dad. Why are you upset? What's wrong with you? Why are you upset? Why are you upset? We don't need to come and get you. Come and get you for what? He has been in a lot of problems since he came to the facility. He has been changed to different units. Before he came down to B, then he was transferred to the control unit. Before he came up to the control unit, he stayed in our padded cell for a while. He's tried to destroy state property. He has over restitution to the state for destruction of state property. I mean, he's really been a handful. He's just started coming down these past few weeks. In a day, it just, because he didn't get a radio, because we just did the new radio system where the upper levels are getting radios, and he tore a book up a few days ago, and he tore a school book up, and now destruction of state property. So I told him that he would not more likely get his next level, which is a level 2, where he could get the radio, and he got upset. And that's when I tried to de-escalate the situation by telling him we can do a week-to-week evaluation of his behavior, and if he has a consistent positive behavior, then we can probably do a level change and give him his level. He was past that point. Then he was already had geared himself up. He was already hyped up, ready to go. So I couldn't calm him down. He was already set in his mode, and I think because the camera crews was here and then some of the officers he has problems with were here. So he just, and then it doesn't help that his peers seem to join in and make him hype him up a little bit more. So he really got into himself and just refused, and he already shut down. So any communications I was giving him, he's already had shut down on me. Down here is a constant struggle with these offenders because you have to get them on a good day. If you get them on a bad day, this is what we get. This is what we get.
It's not one. You hear me, boy? You hear me, boy? You hear me, boy? You hear me, boy?
Pushing up, pushing down.
Hey,
Guys,
push him down in his waist. Push him down in his waist. There you go. Push him down in his waist. You got push point in his waist. Push him down. Push him down in that chair. I want him in that chair.
get that way here.
It ain't one. It ain't one. It's not a game. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Don't phone. It's not a game.
Watch that shirt. Don't pull it too tight.
That ain't shit. It's nothing. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, boy. I'm telling you, boy. I'm telling you, boy. Huh? I'm telling you. I'm telling you, boy. It's not a game. So, it's not a game.
Mayweather, bend your knees.
Stop trying to.
Bend your knees, Mayweather.
Stop. Get your hand off.
Pull his leg
Hey,
straps
Fish.
up. Pull
Fish
his
arm.
leg strap up. Pull his leg strap up.
Fish arm.
Straight up. Right here. Right here. Pull it. Pull it up. So you can. Alright, get ready for the other one. Pull that other leg strap up. Pull that secure center strap.
Mayweather, stop. Mayweather, stop. Mayweather.
Tell him to get off my stomach.
Well, stop fighting. Stop resisting.
He's digging his
stab.
claws in my neck. I should have got I should have tried to kill you.
Stop resisting the
Yeah,
stab.
that was sounding how you sound on the ground, huh? Go here's charges again, bitch.
Mayweather.
Go here's charges.
Mayweather,
bitch.
stop resisting
I hate
stab.
you, boy. I try to kill you, boy. You understand me? Huh? Understand me, boy? Tell them to get their hands off me, man, before I get angry.
Stop resisting.
All right,
They'll
tell
get
them
their
to get
hands
their hands
off you. Be cooperative.
Y'all ain't never this nice. I should have did what y'all did. 'Cause, boy, I was wishing, boy. Redshine, why ain't you breaking another black prison arm this time? Huh? Saying you got permission from the captain to break our arms.
Team supervisor, check those restraints, please. Make sure they're nice and snug.
We need to get a neck collar for him. He's trying to headbutt people while he's in the chair. Alright, he's good.
Okay.
I got finger in everything except for that waist strap, and that's because he's pushing up. I take all of his leg restraints and his arm restraints. Now this one's over tightened.
Okay, pull that shirt off his head. Pull that shirt off his head. Don't come out.
Come out.
Come back in here.
I don't know. Tell them to come back. It's going to be working.
Did you ever come and talk to anybody? Did you talk to me? Usually when I walk, listen to me. Mayweather, give me a minute to talk. Anytime I come on the range, what do you say to me? So am I gonna come talk to you? You saying that? No. Okay, so I mean, come on now. Come on now. Think about it. 1 and 1 is 2, right? It's only common sense. Why would I come and talk to you acting like that? If you're being hostile and aggressive, I'm not coming to talk to you. You're in a hostile aggressive unit. Only way you're gonna get out if you want to get out. Put yourself in the situation. Only you can get yourself out, like we talked about when you was over here. You don't gotta be down here forever. You on your own time. We got all day. You got an empty bed, you'll stay in that bed till you're ready to get out. You gotta get them levels. That's the only way you're gonna get out. Only person that's getting played is you. You playing yourself. Stop playing yourself. Be a man, man up. Come on, man. What you want to do? In about an hour, I'll let you out, depending on how you acted. But we shouldn't have to come in here and get a team, man. Come on now. This is old. How old are you, man? Come on, man. This is old. This is old right here. We're going through this every single month with you. Me and Paris the one that cut you a break the first time. What did I say? You was gonna be back in 30 days. How quick were you back? 2 weeks. Because you wasn't ready. What you gonna do, man? You gotta man up sometime. Eventually this gets old. I can keep doing this. I got extraction teams forever. You know I like this stuff. You know I enjoy doing this. But I mean, come on, man. We got history. We can't keep doing this all the time. I'm trying to help you out. And you know I don't talk to nobody unless I really got you. I'm trying to talk to you, trying to make some common sense out of this. So what do you want to do? Do I got to come and check on you every single day? Do you want me to come and sit in school with you every single day? I'm serious. I'll come and do it. If I got to do that, then that's what I'll do. Straight up, real talk. That's what I'll do. Is that what you want? All right. As a man of my word, when we let you out the restraint chair, I'm going to walk you back to your cell, myself. Now, I could be at home with my family. I'm going to walk you back, and every day you come to school, if I'm at work, I'm going to take you to school. Myself. I'm going to escort you myself to school. I have no problem with doing that. If that's going to help you get through the program and get you out faster than most of these other guys, then that's what it is. You give me your word as a man, I'm giving you my word as a man. I can get you out of here extremely quick. That's the coming to Jesus meeting you want. We got to come to Jesus meeting. All right? All right. Calm down. Take a deep breath. Count to 10. Relax. We're going to start fresh from this day. Now, you probably got your level. What level are you? Oh, my God. You probably 0 now. Now we got to start all over again. Now, I'm going to talk to the superintendent and the captain, and I'm going to let them know what I'm going to do. All right? I'm going to give you my word. Now, don't be tomorrow having a bipolar incident and be acting crazy. Okay? Because I know you be acting silly sometimes. All right? All right. Now, stay calm, and I'll get you out of here in maybe about an hour. Just don't do nothing silly. All right? Okay. And don't get out of my chair. Smile. It's not that bad. It's going to get better. All right.
So I know we're back down here in SAG, and you're still here. How long have you been down here?
A year and about a year and 4 months.
About a year and 4 months? Yeah. How do you handle being in SAG a year and 4 months?
Sometimes I get stressed out and I act out, but other times I really don't pay attention to it.
So what does a kid do with all his time in a small cell like this when you don't get out?
Really don't got nothing to do. But I don't really let it bother me until I really act out.
And do you kind of know when you feel like you're going to start acting out? Can you feel it building? Tell me about like the anger you start to feel.
And I just get real. I get real mad, and I tell the officers that I'm about to get mad, and then I'll just start acting up.
So I know the last time we were here, they ended up extracting you from your cell because you had a broom in there or a mop that you didn't want to give up. Explain to me what it was like, if you remember going through all that, what it was like when it was happening.
I've been cell extracted a lot of times, and it just was another time for me. I mean, my adrenaline was rushing too fast. I couldn't really tell what was going on.
Is it scary when you know they're getting ready to come in?
No.
What are you thinking when you see them round in the corner?
That they about to come in, I gotta protect myself.
So what were you doing in your cell when you saw them getting ready to come in? What do you do to protect yourself?
I just get myself hyped up, get my adrenaline rushing, so I can be ready, prepared to wrestle with them.
But then it was shortly after that you were calmed down, weren't you?
Yeah.
So how do you feel about interacting with, the officers who are on the unit, and how does that go?
Sometimes it's good, sometimes I don't like them. Because they when we're behind these doors, they really got a lot to say.
So what brought you into the Department of Corrections to begin with? How old were you? What'd you do?
I was 13, about to be about 2 months from being 14, and I had a long history of being in the system, and I had a lot of battery charges, and I just was non-compliant, and I had a lot of stuff on my record, and I kept running the streets and stuff, and the police knew about it, but they never take me into jail. They'll just go back and write it down, and I would never know about it, and they was keeping documents on me when I go to court there.
So what made you act out while you were at home? I mean,
it wasn't really the parts at home. It was more when I went to school, like interacting with other peers and wrestling with the teachers, because I went to alternative school.
do you know where your anger comes from at all?
Sometimes I just like to be angry.
Have you felt that way for a long time?
Yeah.
Since you were little?
Yeah.
What do you miss most about being out?
My family. Being out, I get to do the things I want to do.
What do you want to do when you get out of here?
Get myself straight so I can live good and live right and stay out of trouble.
How do you think your mom feels about you being in here? Is she around?
She wishes I was home and wish I wasn't getting in so much trouble.
Do you ever talk to her?
Yeah.
When was the last time you talked to her? Do you remember?
2 months ago.
So you haven't talked to any family member in 2 months?
Yeah.
What about your dad? Is he in the picture at all?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So what does he think? How does he feel?
Just saying he wished I was out, and he tried to give me advice and other alternatives to try to get me to do good. Finish getting my education. And
What about brothers and sisters? Do you have any?
I got 3 brothers and 2 sisters.
So how are they?
They good. They try to get me to do good because I'm the youngest.
You're the baby.
Yeah.
And you're the only one that's been in trouble?
More or less, yeah.
So when do you think you're going to get out of here?
If I do everything like I've been doing good, I'll probably about another 3 to 4 months I'll be out of here.
So in total, you've been down here in SAG. In SAG over a year?
Over a year.
So once you leave SAG, they'll put you back in general population?
Yeah, on a higher level than I was. Try to get me out of here quick.
And then how long do you think it'll be before you're actually released from Pendleton?
No more than 4 months, but probably less.
So you could be out by summer.
Yes.
Anything else you want to say at all before we take off? Any of your thoughts at all about anything?
No, besides, this facility, it helps me. It helped me to realize that me acting out is not going to get me nowhere. As far as treatment-wise, they don't really give us a lot of treatment here. But as far as them showing us us acting up is not going to get us nowhere besides in trouble, that helps a lot. You got some officers that talk to us and try to get us to do good, and they actually care, and then you got some officers that don't. That's just the way.
Well, good luck. We hope you get out of here.
Thank you.
Okay?
The care team's about trying to bring down the number of physical forces, and they came up with it, 2 months ago?
Yes.
And it's actually brought that down. So it's bringing into, and it's random, so every day different people are assigned to it. So today we're both on the care team. And whatever the situation is, you go to wherever they call you and you talk to the kid and see if you can kind of de-escalate it so it doesn't go into the whole physical force and stuff like that. And from what they're saying, because I'm not on it every day, that it's actually working and it's bringing all that down.
So you were called down here today for what? What they tell you?
Well, we didn't find out until, you don't know until you get here, and that's why we checked into this office first on what's going on. I don't know this student, and he's upset about not being able to go to school, so.
All right, listen.
What do I got?
Woods.
Okay, what's up?
I'm the biggest threat to this motherfucker.
Okay, so we've established that. What's going on?
I'm waiting for my sack because I didn't eat lunch.
So you're hungry?
Yeah, I'm hungry.
Okay.
I'm frustrated because this teacher won't let me go to school.
Why would they not want you to go to
I'm
school?
supposed to be working my GED. She said because I'm going over there to that school, I can't go in hers.
Okay.
As soon as a white student asks, can I go in there? She's like, oh yeah, bring them in.
So we're hungry, and we're feeling some racial tension.
Racism.
Okay, racism, and the teacher won't let you get educated.
Yeah.
But what was the first established point of interest here?
I asked.
Yes.
You told me you're the biggest threat to this facility.
I am.
Okay, well then, do you not see how that
Stand
doesn't
by.
balance out?
But I've been cool for 5 weeks.
You've been cool for
I
5
have
weeks.
not done
Okay,
with
what
it.
unit are you originally from?
I was never in a unit. I came from that for a ride.
Okay, so you've been down here the whole time?
Yeah, 9 months.
So,
I got your sack for you.
so we got a lunch. There's check one.
That teacher is so fucking racist, it's not fun.
Okay, but how, you're gonna run into that no matter what.
No.
But you're
When I asked to go to school, she said, all right, let me, what the fuck, man? She said, she's like, what she say? She said, let me see if you can go in there. It's not up to me. I was like, all right. So I waited and waited and waited. And she kept talking to Gillingham, another white student who was going in there. Like, I wasn't even asking. So I was like, what's going on with me? She said, I got to ask the officer. When I asked the officer what he said I left it up to the teacher. So she was manipulating me on the low. So then I asked again, she said, no, you're going across there. You don't need to come. So Noelle said, can I go to school? She said,
Can you
yeah,
tell
bring
I'm
her.
confused because I'm not keeping up with this? It's a lot.
Initially, what had happened was student Woods was upset that he wanted to go speak with the teacher that we have on the unit, but he's awarded the opportunity to go out into GP, general population, to whereas he can go out and go with the other offenders, but he was wanting to work on his pre-G, and she didn't have time for him, so he felt neglected, if you would, and so he was pulling the race card and was wanting her to, he wanted her attention right then and there, and she wasn't able to give him that right then and there, so he was wanting to act out. So we called the care team and had them come speak to it, because sometimes it is better when someone else steps into a situation, because there are times when you get a little bit upset and you might just need to be what we call tapped out. So and it helps out sometimes. Care team, it can help out.
Yeah. Who's the teacher, first of all?
She's in the classroom, Miss Stacy.
Miss Stacy.
And what testing are you supposed to be taking, or what class are you supposed to be taking? Are you wanting to go to?
It's just GED.
GED, okay.
Have you taken your GED before? Is this your first time?
Second.
It's your second time. Do you remember your score the first time?
Yeah, I got it.
So if we get some lunch in you, is that gonna help calm things down a little bit? Because I'm pretty irritable when I'm hungry.
If I can go work on my GED, that's
Okay, so you want to work on the GED. Is there, what, if we're not going to school to do it because there's some tension today, and maybe we can look at tomorrow for that, what can we do today to work on the GED here?
Bring it to the classroom.
Huh?
Bring it to the...
What's another option?
I need to get out of my room.
You need, okay, so
Working on school would be a
really
positive
it's
way.
not about the GED right now. You're getting a little stir crazy. You're hungry, you're stir crazy, you need a little space.
Yeah.
Okay.
This room is not giving it to me.
I understand. Okay. So why don't you let me talk to some people and see about getting you a little space, and maybe if you could agree that if we get you something to work on the GED on here today, you chill out with the behavior, and maybe we can work something different out for tomorrow.
Out of my room. Tomorrow, Saturday.
Well, Monday, you're right, because it is Saturday. So Monday.
That's a long
But
time.
are you going to be able to give a little bit on, it's on presentation skills, you get that, right?
Yeah.
So how you're presenting yourself might be with a little bit of an edge that they're kind of giving you back an edge. I understand that, and you've been very positive right here and now. But if you're upset, when I'm upset, sometimes I got a little more edge than usual, and they're hearing that, and they may be giving it back. Because it's communication breakdown. So here's lunch. Let's get lunch. That's for starters.
All your items are in there, milk.
Will you talk to him for a minute while I call him? Or let me ask him.
All right.
Was he going to school over there? Because I don't know the school situation
Yes,
here.
yes,
So
he
he
does-
was going to,
he
there was
does go to
friction
school.
today,
Yes.
and that's why.
Yes.
So I have to remind myself to listen, to make sure I'm listening, and just to hopefully come up with a game plan, because a lot of the times on care team you're not, like, I'm from a unit, so in care team a lot of times it's a kid you don't even, I've never seen him before, so you don't have all that information about why they made, and so a lot of it's just like, I hope we can figure this one out.
Right.
And it usually works, because usually, most of the time, 99% of the time, I would say they just want somebody to listen to them. They just want somebody to talk to for a minute. And I think that's why the care teams work and de-escalated so much of it, because most of the time they just want to talk to somebody. So maybe tomorrow we can just kind of start over. What's the options here for him having like some time out of here today? Like a rec room for maybe 15, 20 minutes?
Well, when he gets back from school, I've already got my breakdown on who I'm going to rec, and he should be on that one about 1:30ish when they get back. I'll let him go into the rec area, and he'll be in there for an hour.
I don't think I'm going to school today.
You don't think you're going to school? Okay.
Okay, so if he is compliant with what he's doing now, he's got lunch, he's admitting that, you know, there's a little frustration on his end, can we get him some rec so he can kind of work some of that? Because part of the problem with the underlying problem is he's feeling a little stir crazy.
Okay, well, I'll work that into my schedule.
But you need to continue to be compliant
Exactly.
for him to give a little bit. We're give and taking here, okay? So get some lunch in you, kind of chill out, we'll get you some rec, and maybe tomorrow we'll start all over. And respect isn't about how you feel about somebody. So if you go to school and you're respectful, it's not about whether you like anybody or not. So if you've got some conflict with the teacher, just let that go, because you're there to get your GED, which in the end has nothing to do with her, right? Because that's for down the road. So you need to take her out of the equation.
She was the reason I got to this point.
Well, no, you need to take on the accountability that you're here because whatever happened with you. But you're also going to get out of here because of whatever you do. So you've got the control with that. So the GED is the priority, because that's a powerful piece of paper outside of here. So take her out of the equation, okay?
She's the only way I'm going to get it. That school over there is not letting me do it.
Okay, but she's going to do the test, but she's not the one taking the test. She's not the one going into the classroom. You need to go into the classroom and not, and what I mean by taking her out of the equation is just do what you need to do in there, and however you feel about her personally, don't address it.
Give me the chance. That's why I got this mad.
But I think we talked about that. We said maybe you can give a little and her attitude is going to change too. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to happen.
Talk about that now.
All right?
When I was giving a little, it wasn't
Okay.
getting nowhere.
You know what we are going to do? I think we are going to have some lunch right now. We'll talk about it after lunch.
Yeah,
Okay?
sounds like
Let's
a plan.
do that.
Because I've not eaten yet.
All right?
So you eat lunch, they'll get you
Yeah.
some rec,
Call me when you do with that side.
and I'll come back by here. We'll come back by later today
You're right.
and kind of
we'll
come up with a
talk
game
about
plan
it,
for tomorrow.
yeah. Because we have to find out about the school thing too. All right?
Does that work?
Okay?
All right, right on, Woods.
Thank you.
What I do is I work with the offenders who are 17 and a half years of age and older. Some have been here for several years. Some are maybe here their second or third time. We go through, and the core groups that I teach Thinking for a Change, which is a cognitive, basically we're teaching them how to recognize how their thoughts and feelings affect the choices they make. How, what they're thinking in the situation may lead them to either do something negative or positive, and how if they are in a cycle where they're going to maybe have thoughts that are more negative, to recognize that and change it to be more pro-social or something more acceptable.
If you understand how they feel, it might be something similar to what you're going through, and maybe y'all could work something out so y'all stop getting in trouble, or that person stop getting in trouble.
What I'm asking is, okay, we know it's important for you to be able to recognize what you're feeling, because how you're feeling can control how you act, right? We teach what's called the Stay Sharp group, which is all with substance abuse to help. We have a lot of students who have issues with drugs, alcohol, narcotics. So it's a way for them to learn about their addictions, what effects addictions can have, and some skills to kind of help stay clean and sober. Also teach anger management groups, which a lot of the kids here haven't had the best anger management skills. Some still don't, but so we go in and kind of help teach them different ways to help manage their anger, how they can even recognize some of them get so angry they don't even know they're angry. You have kids talk about how they will just react. I wasn't thinking, it just happens. I don't think. And they're all the groups kind of focus around, okay, let's think about this. How can I recognize these problems? And giving them the tools that maybe they haven't learned prior to being here that'll help them be more successful and make better choices. You have kids who their whole life they've been around violence, anger, they've been physically, sexually, verbally, mentally abused to things that honestly we would have a hard time grasping it if you haven't been through it. They've grown up with violence solves it. I'm going to threaten, I'm going to intimidate. That's how I'm going to get my way. And it's worked for them. So they keep on building with that. And I have had kids who will they'll be completely fine 1 minute, something will happen, snap, and they're hitting somebody. There's always that potential of violence with every single one of them. You'll see the longer they're here that, some of those kids who have had some of those problems will be able to recognize that. And they'll be able to know, hey, I'm getting angry, I got to get away. And they'll utilize our timeout rooms to kind of get a break, because it'd be hard having 24 people here constantly to get some quiet time. But it's kind of you never know what the day's going to bring. I've had everything from kids back in here who've decided that they didn't like me anymore and knock everything off my desk. And that's how they're going to get their way, to just sit in the corner and not even move. And, some of the looks in the eyes, you can tell anything's possible. I don't have enough time in my day to talk as much as they want to, but they've gotten to the point a lot of times maybe they didn't have some of the stuff they needed, growing up, some of the attention, the support, and to have somebody, they've been through the court system so much. A lot of these kids have longer rap sheets than most adults. And they've been in front of the judge 20 times already. Everybody has labeled them, you're no good, you're nothing but a troublemaker. People are scared and people don't want to help them, or they've given up on them. To come in and have somebody that will talk to them and listen to them, this may be the first person that gave them a chance. And sometimes that helps them to realize, okay, I'm not stupid, I'm not bad, I'm not, a loser who's never going to amount to anything. Maybe I actually can do something. So I think just sometimes getting out and the talking, finally having somebody who's not going to judge them, helps, because they get a lot out. Some of these kids have had to toughen up and be adults since the time they're 8. I've had kids at 12 years old. Mom gave them a gun, mom gave them drugs. You go support the family, because they stay at home. So it's not just, nobody cares. This kid's run free. What's going, it's the lifestyle they've lived. This is their surviving. It's not just, I'm going to go hurt somebody because I enjoy hurting people. It may be, this is their survival skills. This is how they've been taught. If I want to live, I got to go steal. I've got to do this. And that the kids, they are, for lack of better words, they can be fixable. And not to give up hope. They may be in here for rape or murder or assault, but come down to it, they're still children. They're still children that can, if you reach out to them, may be able to turn the path to lead what we would consider a better life than to go out and hurt somebody else or get themselves killed.
My experience in jail was like the worst experience of all time, because first of all, I had just turned 18, so I was like 2 months away from being sent to juvie. I was like the youngest possible person in the adult county jail. And secondly, my last name starts with an A, so everything in jail they do in order alphabetically. So my first day in jail, I wake up and they have everybody line up alphabetically from A to Z, and I'm at the very front of the line. And once you're in that line, there's a whole set of shit you got to do. You got to go get an inspection, go pick up your food. Like, there's this whole set of shit you got to do. Anybody else would be able to watch the first dude do the shit and then copy him, but since I'm the very first fucking guy, I have to just figure it out myself, and I made a fucking fool of myself. It was lunchtime. I saw that there was only 2 tables left, and one table was all white guys and one table was all black guys, and the white guys were trying to get me to come sit with them, but I was like, I don't know, is that like racist? Like, I don't know. So I was like, fuck it, I'll sit with the black guys. I'm sure it won't be a problem. This isn't prison, it's county. I went and sat with the black guys. They were not nice to me, bro. The one dude was like, do you want your cornbread? I was like, I don't want my cornbread. That shit is dry as fuck. And so I picked it up to hand it to him, and he was like, don't be touching my cornbread with your little dick beaters, bro. I know you be beating your shit in your cell. And I was like, My fault, gang. There was this one guy that was in there for kidnapping. I don't know what the details were, but he thought that he was getting out, and he had this shitty magazine. It was like a Christian reading magazine that had like half the pages torn out. And when he was getting out, he slipped it under the door to my cell so that I could have something to read, because there really is nothing to do in there. And then he came back like 30 minutes later, and it turned out that he wasn't getting out, and he started banging on my door, begging me to give him the magazine back. And I did give it back because I'm just like a cool guy. But hopefully that kidnapping charge was like a, oh, like I took my daughter when I didn't have custody, and not like I had a child tied up in my van. But you never fucking know. I don't know. I gave him the magazine. It had a bunch of pictures of Donald Trump in it. I didn't want it.
Spent 27 years in prison. I've been out 8 years. A lot of you guys may already know me. Some of you guys, maybe this is your first time even hearing me. At the age of 16, I went to prison. I committed some crimes, auto theft, burglary. I did a long time in prison. During that time in prison, I messed around with women. I messed around with the female officers. I did things that the average inmate or criminal-minded person would do. I lived this lifestyle for a very, very long time. One day, God came into my life. He changed me, and he saved me. And I want you to understand where I come from. Not a day of my life when I was out on the street as a teenager that I did not spend either stealing a car or breaking in somebody's house. The enemy had his hands on me real tight. He had a grip on me. It was like the grip that the enemy had on me, I didn't even think that I could ever shake it. But somehow God stepped in and he turned my life around. So when I come on and I say did 27 years in prison, been out 8 years, that's a testimony, because when I first got sentenced at the age of 16, they sentenced me 25 years. I was facing 40 years to life. I never unalived anybody, just simply stealing cars and breaking into houses. Well, when they sentenced me to that 25 years, I did 20 years of 25. I got out. I wasn't even out a good 5 or 6 months. I was back in prison facing a 7-year sentence because I went back to doing the same things. When I got out, I did not have the support that I needed. I was a grown woman, so nobody really had to do anything for me. But what you got to understand is that if I went in at the age of 16, then I came out with the same 16-year-old mindset. I didn't know life. I didn't know which way to go. And I didn't have any guidance. Someone saying, this is the way to go. This is how you do this. So I gravitated back toward what was familiar to me. I started back stealing, breaking in cars, robbing. That didn't last long because of the call that God had for me. The Bible say he chastening those he loves and scourging every son whom he receives. Before you know it, I was rescued again. Now some may say, why is she saying rescue? She was arrested. But to me, I was rescued. God rescued me. I don't look at it as me being arrested. So God rescued me again, and I was taken back to prison. And this time I was sentenced 7 years in the prison system. Well, I went in this time with a made up mind. I told God, if you see me out of this, if you help me, if you change me, I'll serve you. When I went in this time, I didn't mess with women. I didn't do all the crazy stuff I did the first time on the 25-year sentence. I didn't mess with the officers. I went to church. I did what I was supposed to do. I spent every year, every 7 years, 7 years of completion, walking in the word of God. His word being a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. After the 7 years, I got a break. Well, just about when it was time for me to go home, my best friend, Jennifer, Jen Gomez, the other TikTok influencer that you guys may know as well. Well, her mom came to see Jen graduate because Jen is my best friend. And while she was seeing her daughter graduate and they're, giving accolades for her, she laid eyes on me. And God happened to put a soft spot in her heart for me. She began to inquire about me. Jen introduced me to her mom. Her mom then asked me, hey, where are you going when you leave? I had no idea where I was going. I had no idea what I was going to do. But we all have a pride. So I wanted to act like I kind of had things together. You know, so I shot a few words out there that sound a little good, but maybe it didn't make sense to her. So she said, okay, if you want to start your life over, I'll help you if you're willing to relocate. So I relocated. I didn't go back to where I'm originally from. Since then, I've prospered in every way. God has opened up many doors. You know, sometimes when you a felon, you think that that's it. The doors can't open for you. But I want y'all to know, because I want to give God his props. Even with a record, no job has been out of my reach. There's not one job I cannot work. I'm right now head of security. I don't carry a weapon, but I'm still head of security. I want you to know, every job that I work, I've managed. So I just want somebody to know, maybe somebody coming out of prison, maybe somebody who has done time in prison, to know that God is a God of second chances. If he did it for me, he'll do it for you. He has no respect of person. God is the same God yesterday, today, and forever. I want to encourage you. I don't know how much time you have done. I don't know how much time you're doing. But God is a God of second chance. And not just second chance, but he's a God of restoration. God will restore back to you everything the cankerworm, palmerworm, and caterpillar has taken from you. The enemy has stole my identity. I didn't even know who I was. I was a little girl pretending to be a little boy. I was a little girl thinking that I was a man, or I thought like a man. I carried myself as a little boy. I wore boy clothes. I did all this stuff. But when God came into my life, he saw value in me. He saw value in me that the world didn't see. He saw value in me that the judge did not see. And he stepped in and he changed my life. So when I come on here and I share with you my experiences, it's just to lay down a foundation of where I came from. Because in order for you to understand where God has me now, you got to understand where he brought me from. I came from the murk and miry clay. God took my feet out of the murk and miry clay and placed it on a rock to stand. I have not gone back. I've been walking this walk and I've been leaning on Jesus. I still just came to simply encourage somebody that I don't care what it is that you going through. You keep trusting God. God has not forgotten you. He knows your name. You be blessed now. You hear? And I'll be sharing more of my story on YouTube and in my podcast coming up. 2 peas in a pod. Y'all stay tuned, because I'm going to get a little bit deeper in my childhood. We're going to go there. We're going to find out exactly where things went wrong. And as God lead me and guide me, I pray that I'll be able to help somebody else to identify their trauma. Because change does not come until you can identify the trauma. When you can identify the trauma, that's when you can begin to heal. I love you. Be blessed.
So this is one of the most disturbing prison stories that I have from Oregon. There was a dude at OSP who was bringing stuff in through the visiting room. His girlfriend would come and visit him. She would hit the vending machine and buy a bag of Skittles. Then she would go into the restroom and she would pull little balloons of H out of inside of herself and put them into the Skittles. So they would be sitting there talking and he would be eating the Skittles. Well, really, he was just swallowing balloons full of H. So they're just sitting there talking and he's eating these Skittles, but he was really just actually swallowing balloons full of H. You have to swallow them because on your way back to the cell, they make you completely strip search, bend over, spread your butt cheeks, and cough. Well, one day on his way back to his cell from his visit, 2 of his friends told him, hey, we're going up to the music room. We want to show you this new song that we wrote. He didn't think anything about it. He went up to the music room with them. They hit him over the head with a bass guitar, knocking him unconscious. And then they used a shank to cut his stomach open and started digging through his intestines to find balloons. It turns out that he hadn't seen his girlfriend at this visit, though. He had seen his mother, and there was no balloons inside this dude to find. The one dude died. The other 2 got sentenced to the death penalty, and they shut down the OSP music room forever.
when people ask me what's the craziest thing I've seen in prison or circumstance or situation that I was around in prison, there's a few stories, but I tell this one because it doesn't necessarily include violence, and it shows you how twisted prison can be and why you should never want to go to a place like that. It's basically what happened, and of course I'll change names, etc. Out of respect for anybody, you know what I'm saying? But I find it important to educate in this moment why you shouldn't go to prison, right? So, to put it in short, young man had came up there to Sussex too. By this time, I had been down a few years, and I could tell when he came into the dorm, he had not been locked up anywhere probably but the jail. He didn't know what was going on. He was green. And if I could see that, other guys could see that. And what happens in an environment, a couple of things. Sometimes you get left alone where I was at. Sometimes the gang members are going to approach you to see, you know, what you down with, what you rep, if they see tattoos, etc. And then sometimes the old heads that's into certain things, and not just the old heads, it could be anybody that's into certain things, they going to approach you and try to manipulate you so they can get you in their pocket and eventually get some favors from you. That's what happens. People don't talk about this stuff. And again, it doesn't happen for everybody, different systems, different situations, but I'm just saying this is what was happening in this moment to this young man. Because while he sat his bag down and came back out of his cell just to see what was going on in the environment, asked the CO some questions because obviously he had never been here before. One of the old heads that was into no good, was known to have several relationships and even been known to do some pimping and pandering back there. Believe it or not, because that's something crazy that happens in the system sometimes. He approached this young man, and it was like clockwork. Not even 30 minutes later, I seen this young man, and so did everybody else, because the dorms was so big, with soups in his hand. He was smoking rolled up in the corner. That's tobacco. Now, the problem is this: he has never went to commissary, so that means somebody had given him this stuff, and who had given him this stuff was the older gentleman that was down on him for reasons he probably didn't know about. Well, over time, it went from the young man having a couple of soups to eat every night and being happy about it and thinking he met a new friend to sitting down and making meals with the older gentleman. Eventually, over time, they would move into the cell together. It happens in prison, y'all. Again, everybody doesn't do the same things. I want to be clear. There's a lot of stigma when it comes to certain things. To each his own. Everybody's preference is everybody's preference. But it does happen back there. It does. And it's not uncommon to see two men move into the cell with one another, you know, if they're in a relationship. And so this young man moved into the cell with this older guy. All this probably happened in the course of 3 weeks. Because the older gentleman, he had some influence on the compound, so it was easy for him to get some cell changes done with the COs, etc. Around this time, they had passed a rule up there where you could put your pictures of your family members and loved ones on the wall. This was a big thing. May seem so small to y'all if you've never been to prison, but to be able to put pictures of your loved ones on the wall, that is amazing. That's fire, and it's needed. You need sometimes to be able to get up, see a picture of your mom or your child or whatever, and be motivated to get through the day. So everybody was excited, and as we found out the story from one of the young man's homeboys later on, because we want to know what happened. What happened was the young man was putting his pictures up on the wall, and the older gentleman seen a picture of somebody looked familiar, and he asked the young man that he was in a relationship with, he said, "Hey, who is that?" The young man said, "Oh, that's my mother." Old head, being manipulative and all that, you know what I'm saying? I guess he was trying to get in with his mom at the same time. I don't know, but he was like, "Man, let me talk to her one time. I think I know her, you know what I'm saying, such and such." So evidently the young man said, "Cool, you might do da-da-da." Now I want to tell you this: the young man was about 22 years old, 23 maybe, probably closer to 21, somewhere in that range. Old had been down for 20 years. So anybody he might have known, he didn't know anymore. So there's a part of me looking at the story or hearing about the story, maybe he genuinely didn't know who this lady was and he was just reaching out to her. Maybe he got scared and wanted to double check. So I don't know what happened. But what I do know what happened next is that the young man that he was in a relationship with put him on the phone, three-way phone call. And I remember because we were playing poker right there, and the phone that we play, or table we play poker at, is right there by the phones. Why? We can get to the phone, we can run back to the poker table. We drink our coffee, we get back to the phone. It was just our spot right there. And you're not ear hustling, but a lot of times you hear the conversations. And I remember the two walking out, and I don't mean to laugh because it's not funny, but it's so crazy. They're getting on the phone, and a young man says, "Hey, this my mama, you could talk to her." The old head gets on the phone, and probably not even, 2 minutes, 3 minutes later, you just hear him screaming. And when he starts screaming, he's looking at the young man. He says, "You're my son. You're my son. I've been messing with my son." He said a few other things. The young man started break down, crying, sobbing. It was, I don't want to use, it was a horrible moment, right? To each his own when it comes to preference. But this story illustrates a disconnect from society, why you should do your homework just in life with anybody you deal with, especially in any way like that. You know what I'm saying? Relationship wise, etc. And yeah, it just reveals how sick prison is. You know, the manipulation aspect. And it's twisted because this old head who was preying on somebody, the whole time he was preying on his own son. And he didn't even know it. So yeah, that was one of the craziest things, if not the craziest thing I've seen in prison.
I used to hold him while I used to grab him by his dreadlocks like that and just grip it like that while I'm pumping him. I said, how you gonna pay me? He said, you knew you was gonna get this, didn't you? I said, get what? I said, get what? Boy, I love that. He was ready to give you the ass for 30. I used to play with his dreadlocks. I used to hold him while I used to grab him by his dreadlocks like that and just grip it like that while I'm pumping him. And he loved it like that. He was a street nigga. He was a gangster. Yeah, he was a sad street was powerful. Well, he had power in his ass, man. That thunder. That thunder, man. I mean. So did anybody know he was getting fucked by you? Man, yeah. See, one thing I do when I come out tell him, I say, look, I ain't with all this. Act like, we ain't doing nothing, none of that shit. I said, look, man, you gonna have to just, everybody know anyway.
3 months in, rookie, and I just got done feeding the tier. So you basically go down and give them their tray so they can eat. And I'm coming back and was about to sit down, and this alarm goes off. And so every cell is equipped with a small little button that they can push for only emergencies. But does that fucking happen? No, man. We're down there for, hey, CO, can you pass my magazine? CO, can I get another food tray? Like half of the time it's fucking bullshit. You know what I mean? And so this one particular time, the alarm goes off, and of course, being the rookie, I got to go down there. So I start going down there, right? And the next thing you know, I start hearing kind of like a little thumping noise, somebody kind of grunting, and then I start hearing somebody screaming for help. And so I know something's going on, you know what I mean? So I shoot down there, and man, it's kind of tough. I kind of look to the left, and I see this convict, man. He's got about a 6-inch blade.
A lot of people ask me, what's the most terrifying thing that happened to you in prison? And since this is how I looked before I went to prison, and this is how I looked after, this story is about something that truly scarred me. I was still fairly new there and knew I needed to toughen up. I tried getting buff, but that wasn't working. I figured I should at least get bigger, if not buffer. But that was hard to do with nobody sending money for food.
Come on, baby, don't be like that.
As my stomach growled, I noticed an unattended sandwich on the table. But it wasn't just a sandwich to me. It was a sand.
Which one of you goobers thought it'd be a good idea to leave food around a hungry feral cat of an inmate like me?
Wait a minute. It was J-Bo's. J-Bo was a scrawny little fella who looked like he had one of those swirly filters on his face 24/7. He couldn't bust a grape if he tried. So I did what would soon become a terrible decision. Now, I'm not sure how, I'm not sure when, but J-Bo found out I took it.
When we could be superstars. Now it's not safe for food, 'cause I stole J-Bo sandwich. Which was a problem, because since J-Bo was obviously too scrawny to really fight anybody, he got his payback in other ways.
J-Bo would catch black widows in little shampoo bottles outside of the building on the way back from the cafeteria. He would shake them up real hard and make the spider mad before sliding them across the floor under the gap between the bottom of the cell door and the floor.
Once he started, he didn't stop. Get him, Webra. Hey, check it out. Check what out? That chip on the wall. What about it? Kind of looks like a pair of nice, you know what I mean? Get him. Oh.
I began to see them everywhere, even in my nightmares. Until one night, I broke and knew I had to make this end.
And that's how I got my inner thief scared right out of me. Never did that again. And to this day, I'm still terrified of sandwiches. Zangle. Fuck.
And I guess spiders too.
You really don't want to be confused, because before lunch, your ass gonna get life lighted off that. Because the first thing they're gonna ask you for, nobody gives a where you from, but when they find out where you from, they're gonna say, your people over there. Your people over there. Oh, you on gang time and shit? You need to be over there with them. And the first thing they're gonna ask you is, you hot? Now, mind you, when I first got there, I didn't even know the lingo. I was dumb as a box of rocks. So when it says, you hot, I told it, yeah. I almost got, I'm talking about, they pulled me in a room and everybody clutching. Everybody got their hands in their pants. And I'm like, this some freak ass man. Like, what's wrong with this here? I'm like, what? And I'm looking, I'm saying, oh man, they clutching, these got knives. So they asked me, they're like, where you from? So I said, this and that. What you do? And when I tell them, they like, so you hot? I'm like, yeah, I'm hot. The who asked me the question and shit, right? He turned around and looked at everybody in the room and then pulled his shit out. He said, I'm gonna ask you one more time, you hot, my shit? And I'm like, I don't understand. I said, cause if you're talking about the humidity in the room, and shit, yeah, it's a little hot up in here. You got like 9 up in this, you know what I'm saying? So in this small ass cell, cut the down. So who knew me was sitting on the bunk and shit like this, and shit. He was just like, man. He said, man, I know Lil Woe. He's like, he ain't on that type of time and shit. You know what I'm saying? He's like, he don't know. This is his first time down here. He don't know. He don't know what y'all talking about. So somebody explain it to him. For y'all got that dude for nothing. So I'm looking at him like, what they talking about? He say, man, did you rap? Did you snitch on somebody? Do you got a 4K1, a 5K1 on somebody? Anything. You told on the dead, you told on the living.
This is the inside of a prison cell, and that thing that's sticking out the wall is a desk with the metal stool in front of it. But inside a prison, it's more than just a desk. It could be a stepladder for the individual on the top bunk. It can be a place where you iron your clothes. You can actually attach some things to it and fashion it into a grill, a heating element where you can cook your food. It's a place where people study. It is a multitude of different things. And I'm not highlighting or glorifying prison in no way, shape, or form. And hopefully, as you look at the background of this thing, you can see just how dirty and dingy most prison cells are. But I'll tell you this, in prison, you got to be resourceful. You got to find ways to turn one thing into 3 different things. You know what I'm saying? It's about survival in there. And some may see a desk. Other people see a kitchen grill that they can hustle off of. It's dependent upon the individual and their perspective. All in all, not a place that I want to go back to. Stay free. Two-man escort. It's typically the status that you're placed on if placed in solitary confinement or some form of special housing. This individual is not only cuffed, but being escorted, and both officers must remain in contact with him at all times. It's a two-point touch rule, so to say. And the reality of it all is this individual probably not going to cause too many problems right now, but they will continue to keep their guard up because security is a priority. And I get it. I was housed in solitary confinement for over 3 years total, and I've seen some bad things occur when guards let their guard down and things went left really quick. And that's just me being transparent and true. Still, this is part of the traumatizing experience because on top of this, I remember being on two-man escort, but also having a dog leash attached to the cuffs that were around my wrists while being walked or escorted to the showers and cages for rec. And if you were lucky, you'd get 3 hours total out the week to do those things. In other words, stay free. Prison transport. Extremely stressful, extremely traumatic, confining, and if you're somebody that doesn't like small spaces or being locked in, you definitely don't want to endure this. As a matter of fact, I've watched individuals, well, let's just say become unstable on those bus rides. I mean, think about it. You're cuffed, you're shackled, and you have a chain leading from your wrist cuffs to your ankle cuffs, a chain around your waist, and a black box over the cuffs on your wrist to further secure you in. Not to mention that black box allegedly was created or invented by a former prisoner. Also, you're locked inside of a cage, typically inside of a cage, because the door to the bus is locked. And then when they place you in the other one, there's a lock there too. Imagine if an accident occurred or if it went over a bridge into water. Not good at all. Those are my thoughts that I would consistently have while being on that bus. But let me tell you this. I'm glad I survived it, but the hours upon hours of moving around in the cold, starving, not able to use the bathroom and more are things I don't miss and more reasons to stay free. Peace. Prison is extremely traumatic, and looking at these doors right here, I instantly had flashbacks, thinking about the sounds that they made when they closed and opened. I'm thinking about the sounds, the screams, the cries, the yells of the men behind these doors when they couldn't take it anymore, when the walls seemed to be closing in even more. That 6x9 cell can get smaller and smaller on you if you don't stay strong mentally. Do you understand what I'm saying? And there's always that moment that kicks in when you realize that you can't get out. It has to be a CO that presses a button and a CO that's not going to press the button and let you out. But let me tell you something to the extreme opposite. In some prisons, the doors are broke. And that poses a whole bunch of other problems like no safety, the inability to sleep, which I can relate to because I remember having to jam up our cell door with a toothbrush in case somebody wanted to run in on it. It's real in prison. And too many things to list that cause trauma and don't necessarily help rehabilitate. But anyways, that's a whole nother post. Stay free. Looking at this picture of the shackles around an individual's ankles reminds me of what I went through all too many times. And yes, somebody put in the comments recently in a post thinking that I was asking for sympathy, saying, well, you made the decisions that you did to put you in that situation. And I get it, but still, it doesn't take away from the fact that the things that I was subjected to while I was incarcerated, along with all the other people that are behind those walls, often are not rehabilitating. They don't help people. They cause more damage and sometimes create more monsters. And you should want people to heal prior to coming home. You should want people to be treated humanely, even though they're being punished, because the majority are coming home to a community, to a society near you. You should want them better, not worse. These ankle shackles, whatever you want to call them, contributed to a large percentage of my trauma. And yes, I can still feel them when I look at the pictures because, I don't know, I guess that's what PTSD does. It's not as bad as it once was, but man, I'm glad I never have to put these on again. Stay free. Peace.
don't go to sleep. He's like, drink that, you ain't gonna go to sleep. He said, he coming, bro. He said, he coming. He said, make your bed up like you in it. He said, that blue jacket that they gave you, put pillows in it. That red hat that they gave you, put pillows in it. And make it look like you sleeping. He's like, he coming. He gonna try to stab you. He's like, but how your cell, I'm talking about this nigga knew the cell, bro. He knew how the cells were set up and everything. He's like, how your cell set up, when it get dark, it's gonna get dark at a certain spot. Just stay in the corner. As soon as they pop, cause they pop everybody's door at 4, it don't matter if you up or not. As soon as he slide in there, you better fight for your life. So, drank the coffee, made the bed up like I was in it, had it like curled to the top like I was like on my side. And I see this nigga. Like I'm in the corner, but I can see Buddy's face. He had his coat up with the collar part over, so you really can't see like his face for real on the camera. The camera's shitty, I don't really give a fuck. So when he slid in, he slid sideways. I brought him in. He slid sideways and had the knife on, but when he slid and I brought him in, this nigga like 120. And I threw him to where all the commissary was in the drawers. He dropped the knife. I thought I killed him. Cause I ain't get off of him. Black suits came, got me and shit. And like when I had got out, cause he was a blood, so he wasn't even, like, he was offset though. Like he ain't on no more cause, you know what I'm saying, the gay shit. So they weren't on that.
Mm-hmm.
So after that shit happened, and I got out the hole, everybody's like, I had $100 sack, $100 sack, $100. Cause nobody can do nothing to him. Cause he's still, you know what I'm saying, it's politics. He's still like, you know what I'm saying, it couldn't be blood on blood.
Mm-hmm.
And he can fight. So niggas really want, and really want nobody can do nothing with him. But probably seen me as like, I'm gonna fight him, I'm stab that nigga. I wasn't going. And ever since then, I was just on my toes on everything.
Story time on how I went to prison at 14. Fun fact, I have never told this story before. So I'm gonna start at the beginning with how I got my burglary charges. I was in school with this girl, Sky Vore, and in the middle of the school day, we had decided that we were gonna ditch. And then eventually it switched to, you know what, let's just run the fuck away. We're grown now, we're gonna go live on our own. So we literally walk out the school building, and we get like a block and a half away until we get to this like abandoned factory shed building. And our plan was that we were going to hang out in this shed and try to do some networking and find somewhere to go and stay long term. Probably not a surprise, but we were not finding anybody to take us in, and eventually our phones died. So we start walking and we get to this apartment building, and I just ring all the fucking doorbells on it hoping that somebody will come down or let us up so we can charge our fucking phones. And this lady did end up coming down and seeing like why the fuck we were there. And she said we couldn't come inside to charge our phones, but she could give us a ride. So she gives us a ride, and I don't know for what reason we got dropped off right across the street from where I lived with my grandma. But we ended up going into the apartment building across the street from my grandma's house because I knew that we could get into the basement and at least charge these fucking phones. And baby, I was right. So we get in the basement, we're charging up. And I'm looking around like, I bet you that we can get into these storage units and get some clothes and whatever else we might need for our ventures. Keep in mind that she was a bigger girl. So I had to be the one to go and crawl over the storage unit. So I'm in there and I'm ransacking shit. I'm throwing clothes over, I'm throwing shoes, jewelry, I'm putting people's clothes on. I don't give a fuck, I'm taking it all. While I'm in the process of ransacking, out the fucking blue, she goes, hold on, I'll be right back. I'm thinking maybe she had to use the bathroom. I don't know, I was busy. Immediately after, I hear footsteps coming down to where the fuck I'm at. If you're fucking with this story and you don't want to wait for part 2, I already have a full version uploaded on YouTube. Otherwise, come back.
They put me in a cell with 2 Crips. Between both of them, they had 30 years. And they was like 40 years old and 50 years old. And they didn't say a word to me. I went in there, I'm on the top bunk in Memphis, I hit my head for like 8 days straight. When I got up, boom, hit my head on the roof. I had to get used to like just going like this and then getting off. And when they locked me down for the first time with both of them, I remember Trey Loke was sitting with his headphones on watching TV. They did the count The other homie, he was sitting in the middle bunk. He slid out. Trey Loke turned around, took his headphones off. Say, homie, what you banging? I'm like, man, what you mean what I'm banging? I'm like, bro, I'm from Florida. I don't bang. I'm a hustler. He was like, this is a Loke house. So I'm already getting the vibe that they basically saying I got to go, right? I'm not knowing the celly before me was a homie from Florida, so they don't like dudes from Florida. He got into it with my homie Certified, the one I told you I was supposed to go to the chow hall with. So, and I don't know that he was about to stab my homie. So I'm thinking like, damn, why didn't they tell me anything? I'm in the blind, right? So they start asking me questions, stuff like that. They was like, go holler at your homie Certified, he'll probably put you on game. He was like, then I want to holler at him. He's like, he told you that? He's like, yeah. He's like, man, like 3 years ago, when I came off the bus, I got into it with him. I'm like, bro, why you ain't tell me? You got me going in here. I'm in the blind, you know what I mean? So I end up moving cells. And then I want to get in a 2-man cell. And I told the GD, he was like, he asked me why I was at a medium high if I'm a nonviolent offender. And I told him, man, look, I beat up an officer. He like, you cap. He went and asked the lady, he was like, man, you crazy. You did beat up an officer. It's in the paperwork. I'm like, yeah. So I end up moving in the cell with him. Then Texas came and got me. Remind you, remember in the beginning, I told you, they told me that Texas still going to try me on the charges. I get over there. They come pick me up. Bro, it's 2 guys. They pilots and officers. They came pick me up in the Camry from federal prison, put me in the Camry, handcuffs. When I got on this small propeller jet, I'm scared to death because we just watched a documentary with Aaliyah the day before they picked me up. That small propeller jet, it looked exactly like it. So we get on this jet. It's like a 6-man. And they were like, oh, you were a drug trafficker. Hey, and I'm like, well, what does that got to do with anything? They just want to start a conversation. So I said, it looked like y'all took this plane, this propeller jet from a drug trafficker. It was like, you're pretty close. We seized money and we bought it from an auction.
This is what it means when a man in prison gets a tattoo for you. It could mean that he loves you, that he's very serious about everything that he tells you, and that he plans on having a very long future with you. But more than likely, he's just playing the part, saying and doing whatever he's got to do so that he can survive when he gets out of prison. A lot of us, when we go to prison, we lose everything, our money, cars, clothes, homes, and everyone just abandons us. So a lot of us, we just do what we got to do to get up on our feet, and then we go find something else and do our own thing, what we really want to do. And we've all heard the stories, dude gets out of prison, everything's going good, women have spent years and years waiting for their man. As soon as he gets out of prison, cheats on them, leaves them, and finds someone else. And a lot of the times, the man ends up putting his hands on the woman, ends up catching another case, and goes right back to prison and repeats the cycle. So ladies, be very careful who you give the benefit of the doubt to. Do a deep search on their history, their current charges, previous charges, because you don't want to end up like one of these ladies that ends up being a victim and waste years and years on some man that's just going to use them and have nothing to do with them when they get out of prison.
Been passed down to you, clearly. You okay with passing that down to your boys?
Passing what down?
Lack of self-control, let's start there.
They're
They gonna do it anyway.
They gonna do it anyway.
My daddy, for instance, I wanted to start selling dope. I tell my daddy, man, you turn my brother on, you know, I need my own, he ain't breaking bread with me. My daddy turns me on to a major drug dealer. When I'm in the cell with my dad, eventually, the things he contribute, even from being in the penitentiary, I feel help lead me up into the cell. When I finally do get to ask him, why did you do that?
But you asked him.
He said something similar to what you said. He said, because I felt like if I didn't do it, you was going to go find a plug anyway. Me, as a grown man at this point, I'm 25, 26, 27, I still say, but you gave your child the ability to say, my daddy turned me on to it, versus you giving yourself the ability as a parent to say, I told you not to do that. I told you this is where it was going to land you, versus helping me get there. Would you rather create prevention and allow them to make the choice in their process.
Would you rather help facilitate in unhealthy behaviors, or would you rather say as a parent, I told you what was going to happen? Come over to Bless This Conversation on YouTube and listen to the rest of this conversation.
The worst thing I saw in prison, it wasn't the fighting, the stabbing, the screaming in the middle of the night. It was the silence, the kind that when a man finds out his mom died, so he just stares at the wall and he can't cry because he shed all them tears years ago. It was watching people break slowly. You see it in their eyes. The hope leaves. Then their voice gets quiet and they stop talking altogether. I saw men forget how to laugh. I saw birthdays and holidays, no visits, no mail, no calls, no nothing, and everyone on the outside forget to even exist. I saw people hang pictures on the walls of people that stopped caring about them a long time ago, just to trick themselves into thinking someone still cares about them. I seen people in segregation start talking to the walls just because that's the only conversation they had left. I saw young kids come in, full of fire, full of fight, turn slowly into cold. Because the system teaches you, if you care, you get crushed. The worst thing I saw in prison, the way it kills a man without even laying one hand on him. That kind of death is slow, it's spiritual. I survived that, but some don't. Some people are in there still right now, to this day, this very second, going through them dark times. So when I say I'm out here in the free world and I'm free, I don't mean I'm free out here. I mean I'm free in here. And just remember, that's the only freedom they can't take from you.
A day in prison from someone who spent 27 years in prison. Round about 3 and 3:30, they're going to start turning on lights and calling for the diabetics and people with medical issues that have to go to pill line early in the morning. Between 4:30 and 5, they're going to start calling to go to breakfast. Everybody start moving around while you still sleeping, trying to get that last little bit of sleep before they turn the fluorescent lights at 6 a.m. That's when the whole dorm start looking like a big warehouse. Lights everywhere. Everybody getting up, running around, grabbing their towels, trying to beat each other to the shower before the water start getting cold. Round about 7 o'clock, we all got to start preparing to make sure that we in position and on our bed, sitting up, getting ready to get counted. 7:55, you gonna hear them come on the loudspeaker, clear count, work call. Work call. Everybody start grabbing all their stuff, running out to the door. You living in a prison on the compound with about 9 other dorms, about 120 inmates in each dorm. So when they call work call, you got to compete with all these dorms to get out there and get to your job. So everybody come outside the dorm, they line up in a straight line. About every 20 feet, you're going to see a group of officers standing there to make sure that you walking inside the yellow line. If you step 1 inch over the yellow line, they're gonna yell your name. Get back in line, prisoner. Get back in line, inmate. You ain't free. You ain't home. They're gonna be the first to remind you that you locked up. Once you get to your job, you got about 10 or 15 minutes to make sure that you at your job and the compound is clear. If you caught on the compound after those 10 or 15 minutes, you going to jail. Around about 11:45, you're gonna start heading back to your dorm and get ready for that afternoon count. After they clear that, you get to go to lunch. They call the dorm out one by one. Once you eat your lunch, you go back to your dorm for about 30 minutes. They open up the compound and you hear coming across the loudspeaker, work call. That's PM work call. You go back to work. Around about 4, you get off your job. You go back to your dorm. We got about 30 or 45 minutes before they call count time. Everybody running to the showers trying to get an early shower so they can get it out the way. Because once you wait to after child to try to get your shower, everybody trying to shower around the same time at night. Me personally, I like to shower late at night because I want to go to bed fresh. I'm not one of those that want to come in from work around by 4 or 5, take a shower, then go back outside, walk up that long hill to dinner and sweat and then come back in, put my night clothes on, then go to bed. To me, that's nasty. We just repeating the same cycle, just different times a day. They really try to let us go to the canteen on the weekend, and then you still fighting with about 9 other dorms to get to the canteen. So it ain't guaranteed that you even gonna make it to the canteen. That's a day in prison. Y'all be blessed. Now you hear?
Prison inmate frantically trying to check in.
Inmates desperately trying to check in prison? Let's speak on it. This man right here is terrified for his life. He's at the window screaming for the COs. It doesn't seem like the COs care. The whole rest of the unit is trying to pull him off this ledge. I don't know what he did to be in this situation, but I've seen stuff similar to this, and usually it's over running up a huge debt or someone did something horribly wrong to somebody in a powerful organization. Grown man holding on to the window screaming for his life, pleading like, yo, let me out of here. This is why you never let yourself get involved in BS, let alone to get into prison. But if you're unfortunate enough to experience prison, just stay out the way as much as you possibly can. Stay free, y'all.